Right now, there's some drama at the top of the Eastern Conference. The number 1 and number 2 teams faced off, and I watched almost every possession of this one, Mr. Rose. I was locked in, and I expected a competitive battle from two of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. That's not what I got. The Heat look good, and you wanted that play right there. You wanted to see this play right here. Why?
Because the twin is a great cutter and finisher and defender. And he fits right into the Miami Mafia that I've been talking to you about since before Jawan got a ring there. And you look behind the bench and you see former players and you see him sitting on the bench and working in the front office, and Pat Riley making sure he's the orchestrator, not many people coming and going. You know what I'm saying? And Eric Spoelstra, developing a roster from within. Can you name me, Jacoby, a couple of guys that have surprised you on the Heat so far that you didn't even know who they were coming into this year?
I have to Google like Yurt 7. I'm like Gabe Vincent. I'm like, I've got to remember him. And then they get real contributions from these guys. Strus is out here looking great against his former team. Like, he's from Illinois, the Chicago area. He circled this one. He put up some buckets. They get contributions from everywhere, and not just on offense. They play great team defense as well.
Correct.
And go ahead.
And the physicality, I'm sorry. And how about Duncan Robinson was undrafted? Tyler Hero is now playing to his potential. And let's just make sure we show my guy Spo. Thank you very much. Thank you, Spo. That's my fantasy coach. But last night, give me some Bam. I know we got some dominant Bam because he's now starting to play like the guy that played when the Heat won the East a couple of years ago. Absolutely. And that's why, like I told you on the show, that Philadelphia needed a backup center. You see what they went and did, try to grab DeAndre quick. And with DeAndre, we put that play on the show for a reason. When he threw it out of bounds, we said he's going to get released. And so now you need those guys to go against Bam. Look at him guarding.
And blocks the lob.
Like Giannis.
I've never seen that.
That's
he switched
Giannis
onto the ball handler and turned around and blocked the lob before he even got to the roll guy.
Show that again. Let's show some defensive highlights. Let's show that. Show Bam again, guarding the PGs, making shots, doing all of the dirty work defensively for the Miami Heat. He was terrific, Jacoby, and now that he's playing like that and Jimmy's going to bring the toughness, Jimmy flirting with 26-6, 27-7 or something like that. The Heat are going to be right there when it's all said and done.
They are going to be right there. The Eastern Conference playoff is going to be so much fun from the very first round. Sometimes you get those first-round matchups in the Eastern Conference, in particular, the last few years. We just kind of like, we all know what's going to happen there. It is not this way this year. Jalen, a lot has changed this year, and the Brooklyn Nets have changed a lot. And they had a game last night against the Raptors that didn't go well. They got a game tonight against the Raptors as well, and there's some news as to who's available and who's not. We'll give that to you right after this. The Nets lost to the Raptors. It was Scotty Barnes who put on a performance and led the Raptors past the Nets. They will play again tonight. However, Kevin Durant will not be available. Ben Simmons will not be available because he has a back issue. Now Steve Nash is in health and safety protocols. Jalen, as they slip in the standings, as it seems like we're going to get Kevin Durant later this week, as it seems like we're going to get Ben Simmons before the playoffs, how concerned would you be if you are a Nets fan looking at these standings?
Here's the problem, Jacoby. The lower you fall in the standings, the less likely you are to advance past the first round. And then once you do get in, you're now a 7th or an 8th seed, and I believe you end up playing the Heat or likely the Sixers in the first round, which means it would be mega to see the Nets and the Sixers play one another. That also means somebody going home in the first round. And so that's what my worry. My other worry is hearing the things about Ben Simmons back. If he's not going to be able to practice, that means he's not going to be able to play. And if he's not going to be able to play, that means he's not going to be able to perform like an all-star. And if that's the case, then that also lends to them putting themselves in position to be a potential first-round exit. But if the opposite happens, Jacoby, and KD's healthy and Kyrie's eligible to play home games, This is the most intriguing story of a team that can go from being a play-in to a champion that we've ever seen in the history of the NBA, and they've never played together. They've never played one game together.
3 years ago was imagine if KD was available to play with Kyrie. Last year was just like, oh, imagine if James and Kyrie and KD were all healthy at the same time. This year it's imagine if they were all played together. Now they added Ben Simmons. Imagine what's going to look like when they all play together. I've been waiting for the 3 stars on the Nets roster to play together for like 3 seasons, and I've only seen it like 12 times. But I still can't discredit it. Hopefully Ben Simmons can play himself back into shape and be ready for the playoffs. Kevin Durant seems like he's coming back soon. Who knows what's going to happen with the vaccine mandate? But if nothing changes with vaccine protocols in New York City, look at Kyrie's next 20 games in the regular season, which games he'll be available and which games he won't. And then you have to wonder if they're going to be able to climb out of that play-in position based on this.
Absolutely, because of those 20 games, he's eligible to play 7. And they don't have a stellar record when he's played this year. They've lost 2 times more games than they've won in those contests. And so that furthers the point that I'm making about the lower you drop, the less room for error. So if Ben Simmons' back isn't healthy and Kyrie isn't eligible to play, imagine Kevin Durant playing against one of those teams and with his all-time 15 greatness getting eliminated in the first round. That would let you know how strong the East playoffs are going to be this year. And I didn't even mention the Bucks, who are the defending world champions, the Bulls, who have DeMar DeRozan playing like an MVP, and my guy JB Bickerstaff, who I told y'all was going to turn around the Cavs, and he got his young Bulls balling in Cleveland. And so this is going to be great to see once KD get healthy, but he going to always be a game changer when he in uniform.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.